Hi, this is John with Sweet Memories Cooking. Welcome to What's for Dinner. Today we're going to talk about making Polpetti de Melenzane, and that's eggplant meatballs. And a lot of people are doing a lot of meatless dishes, and I've been wanting to play around with using eggplant in this way. Eggplant's one of my favorite vegetables, and we use it in caponata and eggplant parmesan and put in tomato sauce and ratatouille and baba ganoush is just a million uses for it. But this is a recipe that I came up with. Like I say, I've been playing around with it for a while, and I think I landed on a combination that I really like. So let's jump right in. So I've got the ingredients that you'll need on the screen here. Now you don't have to worry about writing these down because like I always do, I'll post the recipe right underneath this podcast on Sweet Memories cooking site as well as our Facebook page. So you'll have an opportunity to just print that out instead of writing this down. But anyways, let's run through the ingredients. You'll need an eggplant, an egg, some anchovy paste, capers, garlic, red pepper flakes, ricotta cheese, parmesan cheese, a little bit of water, some extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper, breadcrumbs. So, like I always say, to be successful in the kitchen, you really have to be organized. So, what I like to do is set up my recipe and then get all of my ingredients laid out, as well as any measuring cups, forks, spoons, knives, cutting board that you'll need. Just get all that laid out. And a lot of times, I'll even put the ingredients in the order that they appear in the recipe. But, anyways, you start by getting that all organized and laid out. And for this recipe, we're going to start by peeling an eggplant and then slicing it lengthwise, like you see here on the screen, and drizzle it with olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then I cook it in a preheated 400-degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes until it gets soft. And I love that eggplant when it gets that soft, creamy texture. So what you're going to do is take that out of the oven and let that cool. And then in a mixing bowl, you want to combine your egg, your anchovy paste, garlic, capers, the spices, cheeses, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Mix all that together with your breadcrumbs. And then what you're going to do is, if it's a little bit too loose, add some more breadcrumbs. If it feels like you want to loosen it up a little bit, then you're going to add the little bit of water. But I save adding that water as kind of a last resort type of thing. Now that's what the eggplant looks like when it's all done. And I like to chop that up and cut it pretty fine and add that to the other mixture. Mix that together and you're starting to get a really nice consistency. And this is the mixture that you're going to make into the eggplant meatballs. So you start rolling those out. I line them up on a cooking board and get all of that set up. Now we're ready to start cooking them. So in a frying pan, I heat up 1/4 cup of olive oil. And you can tell when the oil reaches the right temperature for frying if you take a wooden spoon and you dip it in that oil and you see bubbles around it, then that means that the olive oil is the right temperature and you can get started. At that point, we're ready to fry these eggplant meatballs or eggplant balls. And what you do is, one more thing before we drop them in the oil, is I like to roll them in a little bit more breadcrumb and kind of get a little coating on the outside. And then I fry them maybe 6 at a time, possibly 8, but don't overcrowd the frying pan because it slows down the cooking process. With that, once I put them in there, you don't want to touch them. So what I do is I set my timer to about 1.5 minutes. And at that point, when the timer goes off, then I start moving them around in the frying pan. And just keep turning them until they're golden brown. And when you remove them, you put them on a paper towel. And that will saturate up any of the excess oils. And that's it. You're done. You're ready to serve. So let's look at the finished product. And there it is. They're crunchy on the outside, they're moist and flavorful on the inside. You can have them just like this, maybe as an appetizer or as a side dish to a meal. You could serve it, with pasta and sauce. however you do it, it's just delicious, and it's really worth the time it takes to put into having this. So, where can you find us? We've got our Facebook page called Sweet Memories Cooking. If you're not a member, I want to encourage you to go out there and join. And that's where we post a lot of recipes and ideas, and people share their thoughts on cooking. And we also have our website, www.sweetmemoriescooking.com, and there you'll find podcasts like this. You'll find videos where you can see Patty and I cooking together. You could purchase our cookbook. If you want a hard copy of it, you would purchase that through the website. But if you want a digital copy of the cookbook, we're also on Amazon. You can go to amazon.com, search on Giraldi, and you can order and download a version of the cookbook. And you get that cookbook in just minutes. And you can start right away. But however you do it, as I always say, I want to encourage you to pass up that drive-through, spend a few minutes in your kitchen creating some sweet memories of your own today. So until next time, take care.